Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Irv Homer Show, broadcasting from irvhomer.com. It is Wednesday, October the 8th, 2008. And for all of our Jewish viewers, we wish you a happy holiday and wish you the very best, as we wish all of our viewers and all of our listeners and callers. And tonight we have an informational program of various volunteer organizations. You know, in 1982, President Reagan, prior to 1982 rather, President Reagan started a volunteerism program recognizing volunteers in the United States, and discovered at that time there were approximately 18,000 volunteer organizations that you never saw in the headlines. They do their thing internationally, some of them national, some of them local. And so he developed a volunteerism program, and in 1982 had their first banquet. Unfortunately, he had been shot prior to the banquet, and they decided to go ahead with the banquet arrangements, and George Romney then became the master of ceremony, and Vice President Bush took over. So we're going to talk about an organization of volunteers that do work that once in a while you see in the paper. They do a lot of publicity, but when I mention the name of the organization, you know who it's all about. And the gentlemen are sitting with me here, and we'll talk about them in just a moment. Let me remind you that my website for viewing is www.irvhomer.com. My email address is evilirv@irvhomer.com. And we thank the fugitive who sent me an email from Taiwan. They're not really looking for him, but I'll keep it under wraps just in case they do. All of this technology is brought to you by RGH Computer Services for all your computer problems or needs. Telephone number is 215-322-8685. For them, 215-322-8685. Friday night, we'll have no guests, so I'll be discussing a full hour on the past debate last night and get involved in other issues, of course. Now, on October the 15th, the Broadcast Pioneers, which is a group of broadcasters that got together many years ago and started an organization called Broadcast Pioneers. You had to be 25 years in the broadcasting industry in some field, whether you were on air or in front of the camera, behind the scenes, to be a member. Well, they've opened it up to the general public for people in the public relations business, people in the advertising business, etc., and so forth. And they're having a panel discussion. They have a meeting at about a country club, a luncheon, once a month. Well, this month you're all invited. Of course, there is a fee of $25 for non-members. And on the panel will be, let me put my specs on, folks. I'm trying to be real cool here without trying to put them on. On the panel will be Bill Baldini, former NBC 10 WCAU TV news reporter; Bill Roswell, Director of News and Media for KYW News Radio; Terry Ruggles, Morning News co-anchor for NBC 10 of WCAU TV; Marsha Rose Sestak, she was the first woman major market news anchor at Channel 3; and Dawn Stensland, 10 p.m. news co-anchor for Fox 29 WTXF in TV. And, of course, I'll be on the panel because in 1972, don't faint, ladies and gentlemen, in 1972, I ran for Vice President of the United States with John Mahalchik, and we did get votes. So I'm the only talk show host in America that ever ran for Vice President of the United States, and it'll be pretty interesting. So you're all invited, and if you want to, you contact them at, what's the telephone number here? Make a reservation by calling 856-365-5600. 856-365-5600. You'll get a voice recording there. You'll give your name and make the reservation, and you'll pay at the door. Well, let me get to the people at hand who have been gracious enough to take time out from busy schedules trying to figure out what their portfolios are, as we all are, trying to figure out, well, what's gas prices today. Nat Cooper is with me, and he is from Rotary International. Nat, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
And Roy Knopf is past president of the Rotary here in Bucks County. Is that it?
Actually, Feasterville.
Feasterville.
Yes, thank you.
Well, gentlemen, the program is yours. Like I told you before we sat down, this is not a formal program where I ask you questions and blah, 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 and go back and forth. It's basically your program. In fact, if it's up to me, I would leave and turn the microphone over to you. So just relax as if we're in the living room. And Roy, tell us about Rotary, what it is, what you do, how people can get involved in it, what you do for the community, And just a general, take as much time as you need. Half an hour, three-quarters of an hour.
No, I'm not going to be that long.
Shoot the works, kid.
Rotary is a worldwide organization. It is approximately 1.2 million business, professional, and community leaders throughout the world. Currently, there are 33,000 Rotary clubs in over 200 countries. Rotary was started by a gentleman by the name of Paul Harris in 1905, and it was started in Chicago with a group of individuals who met that were in various businesses and got together for lunch. And they supported each other as well as some things that were community related. As a matter of fact, they were the group that actually put public toilets in the city of Chicago.
God bless you. Come on to Philadelphia.
The organization has grown over the years throughout the world, and tries to adhere to a four-way test. And the test is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it benefit all concerned? Since 1947, Rotarians throughout the world have contributed $1.9 billion to the Rotary Foundation for various projects. One of our current projects that we're working on is to stamp out polio throughout the entire world. This has been an ongoing project and has had very interesting ramifications in some countries. We have tried to, on many instances, distribute the vaccine, and there have been rumors sent around that it sterilizes people in the smaller villages in India and actually in Asia have had some problems with this, and they've been working trying to get this through. Africa has, of course, its own unique problems with the extreme heat and the transportation of the vaccine itself. But we're hoping that this will be accomplished in the not too distant future, and we're working very hard to get that done. Our club actually is an offshoot of the original Philadelphia Rotary Club. Later on, Feasterville Rotary Club, actually Ben Salem was an offshoot of Philadelphia, and Feasterville became an offshoot of the Ben Salem Club. In 1973, because of some growing membership, Rotary International asked if we would split the club from Ben Salem and Feasterville, and we formed two clubs. And we were sponsored and chartered in November of 1973. We still have one of our members who is a charter member, who happens to be Judge Dan Lawler, who is one of our Rotary members still in Feasterville. And Rotary has been meeting here in Feasterville at various locations for the past 60 years. In 1980, the Philadelphia Rotary Club established the Elizabeth Moyer Scholarship Fund. Scholarships are awarded to graduating high school students who are residents of the territorial serviced by this club. That is basically an area that runs from the Neshaminy Creek over to Northampton Township, over to US 1, and Philadelphia is our other border. So we service Neshaminy School District, Archbishop Wood. We have students from Village Joseph Marie, Holy Family. We have a couple of the Friends institutions that they have to live within our Rotary District. It's a very interesting group. They have to be in the top 10% of their class, and we ask them to fill out a very lengthy application, and we review every one of those applications and select 3 or 4 students which we award a $1,000 scholarship. This year we were very fortunate and we were able to raise that to $1,200 per student, and those funds are generated through a pancake breakfast that we run once a year. We have a permanent fund. The permanent fund came from a donation of Marlon Moyer, who was a charter member of the Feasterville Rotary Club, and whose wife the scholarship is actually named after. At his death, he donated $25,000 to this particular program, but that could never be used. We must maintain the principal and can only use the interest that we develop off of it, so this can be a post-high school scholarship or grant, and it's turned more into a grant than a scholarship. And because in today's market, if we list it as being a scholarship, one of the problems is if the child has any other scholarships, the school can deduct it. So we just give it to them as a grant that they can use for books, or they can put it towards their tuition or whatever other necessities they actually need. These people, the students can apply in the early part of the year. We try to give away the scholarships at their graduation ceremonies. So we basically cover Lower Southampton Township and part of Bensalem Township. We meet one of the prerequisites of Rotary is the fact that we meet once a week. We have met for lunch for a number of years, and about 5 years ago, I think, we decided to go to a breakfast meeting, and we meet on Tuesday at 8:01 a.m. at the Suburban Diner at 14 West Street Road, at the corners of Street Road and Bustleton Pike. And anyone who is interested in joining, anyone who would be interested in joining, we would ask them to come in to our particular meeting, and you will be welcomed and introduced, and we've been told a little bit more about what Rotary is about and what we do within the community itself.
And that is an opening statement by Roy Knopf, ladies and gentlemen, past president of the Feasterville Rotary Club. Now, it's Rotary International, and from what the description you said, Roy, you got are all over the world, 33,000 chapters all over the world. Do they ever have a national, international convention where everybody gets together?
Each year, we do have an international convention. Each year, we elect a new president, and he sets some goals that are going to be done for the international part of the organization, as well as asking each club to set goals. Our particular goals have been set basically that we try to keep everything within our community. One of our major fundraisers is the Elizabeth Moyer Scholarship Fund. Right now we're going into another program which Nate's going to talk about, which again started in the Philadelphia area. And when it did start, it's expanded throughout the country now. And we've been asked to help participate in this thing and have made a commitment to it.
Now, how can people say they can't get to the Suburban Diner on Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock? Is there a phone number how people can apply to join, or do you have to be sworn in? What are the procedures of joining the Feasterville chapter, or any chapter for that matter,
Go ahead. No, you want to talk about it?
If you're able, our club is very diverse. We've got quite a few business people. We've got chiropractors. Actually, our police chief is a member of our club. We have people that just work in the community. We have quite a few associations with our school district. Our present and past superintendents of our school district are both members of the Feasterville Rotary Club, as well as two of the three principals that man our elementary and our middle school are members of our club. You can attend any one of our meetings. One of the reasons that we did change 5 years ago from a luncheon meeting to a breakfast meeting was to accommodate business people and people working in the community. It is our feeling that at 8 o'clock in the morning you can give up an hour's worth of your time and attend, and then get back to your business without much disruption. If you were to do it at lunchtime, that would make a major commitment that you'd have to leave early and come back late. And you'd be surprised, most of us then build our schedules around the fact that on Tuesdays we will be in at 9:15 at our places of employment. The benefits of belonging to our Rotary specifically, Rotary in general, the camaraderie. You will meet people from all walks of life, as I've stated, and everyone has a purpose, and the purpose is to do good to the community, do good in the community. There is nothing self about Rotary. Everything about Rotary is donating back to the community. In that light, we have embarked this year. There was a Rotarian that came to speak at our Rotary meeting about a month and a half ago in August. He's from Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania, which is in Chester County. And he told us about this program called Winter Coats for Kids. Just simply buying a warm coat for a kid that possibly could not afford it. His parents or a parent could not afford it. He had some statistics. In Bucks County alone, there are 9,500 kids living below the poverty level that probably would have a problem. Their parents would have a problem providing them with a coat. In our Rotary's case, we said, we're going to take this project on. And as Roy said, we'll start within the community. So we've asked the 3 schools within our community, within the Neshaminy School District, which would be Furtabar Elementary School, Poquessing Middle School, and Lower Southampton Elementary School, to help us in distributing the coats. This coming Monday, October 13th, Columbus Day, we're going to have a all-you-can-eat spaghetti and meatball dinner. It's right in town. It's at the Trevose Firehouse, Twining Hall, which is at the corner of Street Road and Trevose Road. It'll be from 4 o'clock in the afternoon till 8 o'clock in the evening. So just stop in. You can pay at the door. The fees are modest. For an adult, it's $8 a person. For a child under 13, it's $4 a person, and a child under 2 is free. Not just what you get, spaghetti and meatballs, but this also includes a salad. It includes bread. It includes a beverage, and it includes dessert.
And where I'm having dinner Monday night.
Where can you get all that for $8? We already have one customer, I could tell.
Give the address once again where it is, Nate.
The address is at the Feasterville Fire Company. Twining Hall is attached to it. It's at the southeast corner of Street Road and Trevose Road in Feasterville. The hours are from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Stop in anytime. Pay at the door. If you want to donate anything to our Winter Coats for Kids for a modest amount of $15, you can donate one coat. Because the initial chapter banded together with approximately, last we heard, there were 350 chapters that were part of this. They actually bring the coats in bulk. And $15 is a very good price for a coat. It is a heavy coat. We will have a coat for a boy and a girl. The coats, every coat is unique. Every coat is different, so it won't be all cookie cutter, one and the same. There will be different sizes. So we'll have a table right at the front entrance if you want to donate any funds, whether it's $1, $5, or you want to buy a coat for a kid. We will gladly take donations at the dinner. But hope to see you there. I think it'll be a good time. We are going to have some entertainment. One of our Rotarians is a violinist, and she has her group. She plays for weddings and all kind of different affairs. So
and she
she's
can
a
talk
professional.
too. She can talk. She can talk. I know who she is. She's good. Let me tell you.
We had scared Irv. We told Irv that we were going to bring her today, but Irv said he would not have enough time for his part of the this session. So we got Roy and I.
She's welcome anytime at all. She's my girl, even though she's a married lady.
Emily is excellent. There will also be takeout meals. If you're on your way home and you want to just pick up a meal, we will have styrofoam containers there. For $8, you can go through the line, pick out whatever it is you want, take a beverage with you, and take it home. Again, for $8, it beats the cost of trying to eat at one of our fast food restaurants.
Not only that, but it's a full course dinner. It's the salad, it's the bread, and there's probably going to be liquid refreshments. God bless you, Lloyd.
Thank you.
It's a very informal program. We don't have any problem. That's this Monday night, ladies and gentlemen, October the 13th. It starts at 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Twining Hall. That's the Trevose Fire Company. And I think they just redid that place, didn't they? What were they doing over there? I mean, they were...
Actually, they're working on the firehouse part of it.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes. The
Twining Hall is
a very nice place. It caters to weddings. They have quite a few weddings there almost every Saturday night. You can go by and see a wedding. It's a beautiful place. One of our fellow Rotarians, Nick, owns the catering company there, MEI Catering. And if you're there and you like it, just ask for Nick. He'll be in the kitchen stirring up the pasta. And maybe you can arrange to have an event there for yourselves.
Now, one of the things that, excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Nate. One of the things, there is parking right there at the firehouse. There's plenty of parking. What's that lot hold? About 100 cars? 105?
It's about 125 cars.
About 125 cars. And it's right off the street. So for those of you who are disabled, handicapped, accessible, the parking lot goes right into Twining Hall. So there's parking facilities. You can walk right in. There's a takeout meal at the door. In addition to the fee or the price of the food, you can also make a contribution. So bring your checkbook, bring the $8, but bring the checkbook, and it wouldn't hurt a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's Columbus Day, and if it wouldn't have been for old Chris, we wouldn't have been here. Like we'd have still been like wherever we came from. So it is it's something that I've been involved in for many, many years in this Coast for Kids, from the radio stations that we had. And as Nate said, it's important that people think, well, you live in Bucks County, and the people in Bucks County got bucks, you know. Well, the hidden thing is, even with the Bucks County Courier Times, that Christmas fund that they run, holiday fund now, I have to be politically correct, still Christmas fund to me, so it's my program, I can say whatever I want to. You'd be surprised, folks, and the worst part about it is, and I guess you fellows would know better than me, people suffer in silence. They don't want to be embarrassed that they don't have a coat for their kid. So if you are viewing this program or listening to the archive, or if you know someone, take your pride and put it in your ear. Your child is cold, and if that child needs a coat, don't be bashful. Let the Rotary Club know about it. Is there a phone number where people, how do people who need the coats find out about it, Nate?
Actually, the easiest way to do it is we're working through the schools.
Okay.
And we have to keep the information confidential,
private, sure.
So you really don't even have to worry about your pride. If you work through the school nurse, and there's a nurse that works between Poquessing and Furtabar, and there's another nurse that works up at Lower South, and just let them know, they will turn around and include your child or children in this program. The other thing is, your child will never be identified. All we are going to do is we are going to be told that there will be a need for 100 coats, say, at Furtabar, and we will deliver 100 coats to the school, hand it to the principal, Judy Brown, who happens to be a Rotarian at Feasterville, and she will accept it on behalf of the kids, and your child will never be singled out. So just don't work through the Rotary, work through the school district, work through the nurse in the school, and they will keep you completely anonymous. They will keep your child anonymous, and as I said at the beginning, they cannot identify these coats. These coats are nice, warm coats. If you come to Twining Hall, we'll show you a sample of a boy's coat. We'll show you a sample of a girl's coat, and everyone will be different. If you cannot make it on Monday night, you can also contribute. The way to do that is mail a contribution. Any size would be accepted. $1, $15 will buy one coat. But we'll take $1. You'd be surprised. Enough dollars come in, we can buy another coat. If you mail it to the Lower Southampton Library, which the address is 1983 Bridgetown, Bridgetown Pike. That's in Feasterville, Feasterville, PA, Pennsylvania, 19053. And just make the check out to Coats for Kids Rotary. Any donations will be gladly accepted, and every single dollar from your donations, every single dollar that we earn with the spaghetti and meatball dinner will go 100% to buying coats for kids in our community.
If you're just joining us on the Irv Homer Show, and we're broadcasting from irvhomer.com, my two guests are from the Feasterville Rotary Club. Nate Cooper, who just finished speaking, he's in the formal outfit over there. Thank you very much. I told the guys this is a very informal program. They can wear whatever they want to. I just like to, and Roy Knopf is the past president of Feasterville Rotary Club. We're talking about the Rotary, and if you have any questions, you can go in our chat room, and our questions will pop up, and these gentlemen will be more than glad to answer any questions you have about it. Who can join? What is the membership year? Is there any obligation for people to, once they join the Rotary? All of that stuff. Do you go through a body cavity check, or do you do any investigation? My greatest line. Well, I got a great line for you. You ever get bothered by telemarketers?
All the time.
Oh, well, I got the greatest line, and it seemed to work. I told them once, I said, "How did you get this number?" And they said, "Why?" I said, "Well, this is a safe house, and I'm in the witness protection program, and the FBI monitors this call." The guy hung up so fast, I don't know what happened to him. So just tell him you're in the witness protection program. Boy, they disappear like mad.
Can I give you my line on that?
Yeah, well, this is not part of Rotary, folks. This is what
please don't associate this with Rotary. But if I have somebody that's annoying me for something, I'll just say, "Tell me if this sounds like I'm hanging up." Rarely did I ever call back.
Well, now, Nate is not going to be part of the entertainment on Monday night at the spaghetti dinner, but we may call on him in the future to demonstrate his skills. So there'll be entertainment there. Once again, it's this Monday, October the 13th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. There's plenty of parking right on the firehouse lot. That's the Twining Hall, Trevo's Fire Company. Everybody knows that fire company. So where's that one? I'm 3 lights past the fire company going west on Street Road. I'm 3 going east the other way. So it's a well-known, established. How long has that fire company been there? Do you have any idea? And they've been there a long time, hasn't it?
They have been there at least 50 years.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact.
They have one of their original fire trucks. It's an old tanker, and I think it's a 31 Ford.
Oh my God!
And that was I think it was one of the very first pieces of equipment that they bought. And they had restored that, and they do use it in parades. So
well, they only use that house for old house. If you got an old house in Feasterville, they use that truck to put the fire out. Once again, let me remind you that you can join us at the Broadcast Pioneers October the 15th at the Ballot Country Club for lunch. I'll be there. My son will be there. And there'll be a lot of people from the industry there. It is open to the public. And the subject is going to be something very interesting, folks. How broadcast stations cover the elections. And for those of you who are news junkies like me, you say, well, how do they do it? Well, you'll be able to ask the panel that will be there. Bill Baldini, former NBC 10 WCAU TV news reporter. Bill Roswell, Director of News and Media for KYW News Radio. Terry Ruggles, Morning News co-anchor for NBC 10 WCAU TV. Marcia Rose Shestak, she was the first woman major market news anchor on Channel 3. And currently Dawn Stenslin, 10 p.m. news co-anchor for Fox 29 at WTXF TV, and I will be on the panel as a radio talk show host who in 1972 ran for Vice President of the United States with John Mahalchik from the state of New Jersey, and we lost to Richard Nixon and Spiro Agnew. And look what happened to them. If you'd have voted for me, it would have happened a lot sooner than what happened to Richard Nixon. You'd have known I'm a thief, and there would have been any of it. Could have saved you a lot of money, folks. But we're talking about Rotary and Rotary International. Now, how do you get election? You have elections once a year for presidents and other offices in the Feasterville.
Rotary International. If someone would be interested, and since your program is not just Feasterville, you could Google Rotary International, and it will give you clubs from all over the world and where they're going to be. Just in this area alone, we've got Ben Salem, we have Feasterville, we have Ivyland, Churchville, Newtown, Langhorne. So the clubs are relatively small. The object of Rotary is to have one professional from each area, one insurance person, one banker, one restaurateur, to represent that particular industry and to deal with each other within that particular section of the community. We've been very fortunate with our representation from bankers and with Neshaminy School District at Feasterville Rotary, and very successful with that particular group. We're small. We have about 32 members right now. And it seems like we lose one and gain one back. It's not as though that we're growing in size. We want new members. We're looking for people who are interested in the community. And Rotary is a community service organization. We work on a fiscal year, July 1st to June 30th. So in May we will be electing, or we have elected our new officers who will serve for a one-year term. We have a president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and we have a few other elected positions in our particular case because of the scholarship fund and a couple of the other things that we do, and we've made those elected positions. We participate and have participated in Rotary International. We have people who have traveled outside of this country and participated in Rotary International, visited clubs within other countries. Rotary International a few years ago was run in Philadelphia, and it was actually the kickoff for the Polio Plus Award, and it was held in the old Civic Center. And as the donations came in, there were lights around the old balcony, and for every so many $1 million, a light was lit, and that was their original kickoff, and it was right here in Philadelphia. As far as membership, is mainly someone who is community oriented and interested in the community. You do not have to own your own business. Is a commitment. We ask that our members meet once a week, and we ask them to keep their attendance up over 70%. And that's a commitment in itself, just to say that I'm going to meet 70% of the time and we meet 52 times a year. So it's quite a commitment there. But it's been profitable into what's been done within the community here in Feasterville. And I think you'll see that. The kids who have gotten our particular scholarship have been wonderful. They have come back, they've spoken to us, and given us incentive, let's do it that way, to continue this particular project of doing it and trying to make sure that we have sufficient amount of funds that we can continue on with the scholarship program.
Now, in addition to these fundraisers, you have this drive for the elimination of polio around the world, and the pancake breakfast for the funds to raise for the scholarships and for this. What happened? What are your activities during the rest of the year? I'm sure all of your members are involved in some special little program.
Well, each year we pick out. I am actually vice president of Feasterville Rotary. I will be the president next year. At the present time, Suzanne is our president. She's part owner of Guy's Bikes right out on Street Road. Every year, it's the president's drive to pick out a couple different projects and work on them during the year. Some of the projects will last for a long time, such as the scholarship funds. Actually, way before I joined our Feasterville Rotary, my older son was the recipient of one of the scholarships. He actually received a $1,000 scholarship from the Feasterville Rotary. was a pretty good student, and he's gone on and done some very good things. So that part will probably stay with us in perpetuity. We then pick pertinent other issues within the community to address. I think if you actually checked with every single present Rotarian, you'll find that Rotary is not the only thing that they are involved in when it comes to volunteer work. I know Roy, for a fact, is very involved with the Shriners. I have other activities I'm involved in, a summer program run by business people that teach high school sophomores and juniors how to run a business. This year, for the first time, I got Roy involved in doing it. What you find out very early on is if you're a member, a volunteer of any organization, and Rotary typifies it, you get as much, if not more, out of being a volunteer than you ever give in. Our Rotary actually is a pioneer. We pioneered a program last year called Interact. We are working with an elementary school in our district, Ferdabar Elementary School, and the students, the 4th and 5th graders, with help from a couple of their teachers, have actually formed a junior Rotary club within the school. They elect their own officers. They elect a communications person. They actually learn 2 things. They learn how to conduct a meeting, and all the rules and regulations of being a good citizen within an organization. But at a very early age, what they're learning is giving back to the community service. They do very similar to us. They're having at Ferdabar on, it's the 18th, Saturday the 18th of this month, Ferdabar is having a craft fair. And the Interact Club, as it's called, they meet during school hours, during a period when various students are doing other activities. They meet as a club, and they're going to actually have a booth, and they're going to sell scarecrows. But not scarecrows that are made up. Scarecrows you have to make up. Okay, they will sell you the parts to the scarecrow, and then they'll show you the pile of shirts, pants, and you make up your own scarecrow for $15. And you get, I'm sorry, I don't know what the exact amount is, and you get to take the scarecrow home and adorn your lawn for Halloween. But this is something that we have started. There had already been Interact clubs at the high school level, but we are the first that we know of in this region to have an early act program. We're trying to take it down to we have taken it down to the elementary school level. This is the 2nd year that we've been doing this. So it reaches out throughout the community. The other part of it is, again, when we have our meetings, a big portion of our meeting is to discuss various benefits that we're giving the community at the time, but we get out of it too. One of our retired members, retired superintendent of schools, Dr. Bowman, is in the process over a 7-week period of teaching us the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Adults, Covey program. So every week when we go now, I believe we just passed the 3rd habit, and we're working on the 4th habit. We are actually, as the 7th habit says, we are sharpening our own skills. We are sharpening our own saw. We learn as we attend the meetings various techniques of successful people, which then we take back to our businesses, and in turn we take back to the community. So Rotary is community oriented, but as any volunteer program will tell you, you also get as much out of it as you put into it.
Now, in addition to your meetings on Tuesday morning at the Suburban Diner at Bustleton and Street Road, 8 o'clock in the morning, and you're all invited to attend. If you're a business person, community-oriented in the Feasterville area, you're going to be welcomed with warm and considerate recognition. I know because I've been there, and I want to thank, before we go any further, the Feasterville Rotary Club for their support of the Sunshine Foundation. Of course, you know that if you know any children that are chronically terminally ill, just get in touch with me and we'll provide them with that special dream or wish. You do have guest speakers from time to time, and at a couple of times I went there, I found them quite interesting that you ordinarily wouldn't get by just going to a breakfast. I mean, two or three, two gentlemen and one woman, I won't mention their name, but were quite informative and interesting, and they're not selling you anything and they're not promoting anything. They're just giving up their vast information and knowledge in their particular field of expertise that even though we're not connected with it, you'd be surprised, regardless of how old you are, what you can learn. So how do you get those guest speakers to come in and without charging an outrageous fee like I do? I mean, like some of...
Connections.
Very difficult.
Connections. As you heard, our members are spread out throughout the community, and all of us have worked in this community, whether it's Feasterville, Bucks County, even just southeastern Pennsylvania, and everyone has different connections. I was able to bring in the chairman or the CEO of Lower Bucks Chamber of Commerce because he too is part of that summer program that I'm involved in. Dr. Bowman is a member, so he came in. Our secretary treasurer is involved with the Churchville Nature Center. So had you come last week, you would have heard a really good talk about what goes on at our Churchville Nature Center, which is right in our community.
That's a neat place, incidentally.
It sure is. Can I give the ultimate
Sure,
hook, though?
sure, whatever.
As
your program.
As a first time,
boy, it's your.
As a first time visitor, you get a free breakfast.
That's right.
It pays to be in Feasterville, folks. Come on in. You know, there's houses for sale here.
We have some very interesting programs. And again, what Nate said, it's our own members. We've had the head of surgery for Shriners Hospital in Philadelphia come in. We've had our clowns come in. Matter of fact, the Lulu Clowns participate in our pancake breakfast every year, and
Are they the two brothers?
That's Finky and Stinky.
Oh,
Yes. Oh, yes, they're the Fink boys.
They embarrass me. These guys are absolutely insane. They have no. I mean, they've lost their marbles a long time. I think at birth they bounced them both on their head. The mother really wanted two puppies. Instead, these two guys came out, and they embarrassed me. One at I forget where it was. I can't remember, but they did it. They are funny. They are really great.
Well, we did a program up at Snodgrass Farm, which is another local community where the township actually purchased the farm, and we're running it, and eventually we'd like to run it as a farm. And they had this particular program up, and they needed some clowns, and they invited Finky and Stinky up, and we're standing up there, and this little girl came up and she said to one of our Rotarians, she said, "Mom, I think there's two homeless people walking up the driveway." And they dress, of course, you know, they are the hobos, and but we've had some great times. But they come out and they participate. We were talking earlier. We've had programs for a number of years that we've sent students to the Freedoms Foundation, the Pennsylvania Free Enterprise. We've sent students there, and Nate's very much involved with that program. And as he said, got me involved this year. But we've used that as sponsorship. Our Interact Club has actually taken over at the high school level. At Thanksgiving and Christmas, we do baskets for families who are in need. And again, that's something that's done through the nurses, and we find out about these people through the school program. And we've always had great participation of our local merchants who have come in and given us turkeys, and we shop in the store, and then they donate as well to this program. And the kids at the high school have literally taken this on for their own and used this as their program and deliver the food and make sure that it's each family has enough. And from funds that we raise, and now they're raising those funds themselves as well. I mean, it's not just our particular program, but here's a group of kids that are in high school that are giving back to the community as well. So it is a great program, and starting with the elementary school level, it is very interesting to see these kids, and they're really enthusiastic. The next time we'll get a hold of you and invite you to the meeting when we bring the kids in, and they give their own little reports, and we bring them in a couple of times a year, and it's phenomenal to watch. I mean, these kids are so excited about what these programs are, and they see the end result of helping somebody or making sure that at the high school level that families have food. We did a basket a number of years ago, and before the high school was involved, and it was a family that was having some problems, and there were some difficulties. And after that, the family got back on their feet, and every year we used to get a check from them for $50 so that we could go out and help another family. And they kept that up until he retired and moved out of the community. So, I mean, we get this back. They have people that they see what Rotary's about. They see what's being done as service above self is one of our mottos. You know, that we're trying to have people be interested in or what's involved in the community, and our club particularly is, although we have these international programs, we try to come right back into our community. Everything that we do, we try to bring back into our community. If we take a child out of the community and send them to Pennsylvania Free Enterprise or the Freedoms Foundation or a different program, we feel that we're really not sending them out. All we're doing is educating them, and they're bringing it back that they can give it to other kids. And literally they stand in line to get these things. It's unfortunate that we can't give out more scholarships. We get anywhere from 15 to 20 applications every year for students, and we're talking about students that are in the top 5 to 10% of their class. Most of them are in the top 5% of their class, and we've got to make some decisions. I mean, and
well, it's difficult.
It's very, very difficult
to
do this.
Start screening and saying, well, this one gets it over this one. But hopefully, as a result of more programs like this, we'll be able to raise more money and have more scholarships and more people be informed. So what I would like you to do, Nate, is to go over this fundraiser for Coats for Kids this Monday, October 13th, and I'm going to let you do it because you do it a lot better than I do.
Okay.
Besides that, I'm going to eat the spaghetti and you do the commercial.
Very good, and I'll serve it to you. How's that? I'll be one of the servers.
Necessary.
This coming Monday, October 13th, at the Trevose Firehouse, Twining Hall, which is on the southeast corner of Street Road and Trevose Road in Feasterville. The Feasterville Rotary Club is going to have an all-you-can-eat spaghetti and meatball dinner. It's not just limited to spaghetti and meatballs. You will also have bread. We will also have salad. You will get a beverage and a dessert. All this for $8 for an adult, $4 for a youth under 13 years old, and it's free for little kids under 2. It's this coming Monday, the 13th, Columbus Day, from 4 o'clock in the afternoon till 8 o'clock in the evening, and takeout is also available. Come to the door, pay your $8, and they'll give you a styrofoam container. You can come through the line, and you can take out whatever it is you want to take out. Can't beat it for $8 a meal.
And there's plenty of free parking there, right on the premises of the firehouse. And it is handicapped accessible if you want to come in for dinner. It is wheelchair accessible. It is very easy to get into. Now, in addition to the dinner, you can make contributions at the Lower Southampton Library. Where is that located, Nate? Okay. And how can people drop off money there? Okay,
it's real simple. It's Lower Southampton Library, which is at 1983 Bridgetown, Bridgetown Pike. That's in Feasterville, Feasterville, Pennsylvania, PA 19053. Make the checks out to Coats for Kids Rotary. You can also, if you do attend the dinner, we will have a table there. If you want to donate whatever you want to donate, $1, $15 will buy one winter coat for one child. But if you want to donate $1, those dollars add up real fast, and we will take any donations that you want to give us. And all of the proceeds of this program, this dinner, will go to buy winter coats for youth that are identified in our community, in the Chamonix community, in the Lower Southampton Township community, whose parents probably, possibly could not have afforded to clothe them properly for this coming winter. We have access to coats. Every coat will be different, and no child will be identified. So parents don't feel as if your child will be singled out. If you think that you cannot afford a winter coat for your child, work through the nurses at Fertibar or Poquessing or Lower Southampton Township. They will get the information to us. Your child's name will never be disclosed to us or to anybody, and we will get them a coat.
And let me remind you that the flyer of the Feasterville Rotary Club, October the 13th, Monday, is on my website, and you can check that out. And even if you're not from Feasterville, you can come over there and have a spaghetti dinner and learn what the Twining Hall is all about and the great catering that they have there. It's a fantastic place. You're going to enjoy it, and it is for an extremely good cause. I also want you to, Roy, tell a little bit about this polio drive internationally that the Rotary International is involved in. Just for those folks that didn't hear in the beginning of the program.
Rotary International has been involved in a program to stamp out polio throughout the entire world. We cross all lines. The Rotary insignia has been able to get us in. It's a non-political type of program. We've been able to conquer the main problems that we have. One of the main problems that I spoke of before is in Africa, that we must refrigerate the insulin that is being used. We've had a problem in India that misinformation was given to outside tribes that we were trying to go in and help people. Well, people have learned this, and our goal is to stamp out polio throughout the world. And we've been able to do most of that right now. We're just some small pockets that are creeping up, and we are able to immunize children, and that's our goal and has been. And we've just received a couple of large contributions to Rotary International to help that last part of this. I think it was the Gates Foundation.
Actually, it's the Gates Foundation
Oh,
that has made us has made Rotary International a challenge. Whatever we can raise over the next year and a half, they will match dollar for dollar. So whatever we raise is actually doubled. And the whole premise of it is to stamp out polio in the world, throughout the world.
Well, gentlemen, it has been a real pleasure meeting you. I've seen you at the diner in the morning, but I'm usually there on another business, and trying to mix the two of them sometimes gets difficult. But we want you to support Rotary International. We want you to support Rotary. You can get involved in Rotary. You can become a member as a Rotarian in the Feasterville area, and that's where we're basically aiming for in tonight's program. However, there are Rotary organizations in your community around the world. So if you're in Taiwan, like my friend is, who sent me the email, or in Thailand, or in Greece, or wherever you are around the world, Rotary has 33,000 chapters throughout the world that you can get involved in and meet gentlemen just as gracious as these guys, giving up of a night to come on the Irv Homer Show. You can take this on the archive and pick up that information. Once again, the flyer is on the website about Monday night, 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock at the Trevose Fire Company. So, guys, thanks a lot. I just want to close out the program by letting you know that we're broadcasting from irvhomer.com. My website is www.irvhomer.com. My email address is evilerv@irvhomer.com. And this whole technical thing is put together by RGH Computer Services. If you have a computer problem for all your computer needs, this place is a bug house. I'm going to have to enlarge the area because I've got computers here. I've got them in my garage, and I'm going to have them in the trunk of my car pretty soon. But if you have a problem with your computer, whether it be technologically or whether it be in any field at all, just contact them at 215-322-8685, 215-322-8685, and they will could sometimes, right, Ron, over the telephone do. Sometimes we straighten some folks out. Don't forget, on October the 15th, that's next Wednesday, the panel discussion will be at the Bala Kenwood Country Club at 12 o'clock, how broadcast stations cover elections. And once again, Bill Baldini will be there, Bill Roswell, Terry Ruggles, Marcia Rose Shestak, Dawn Stenson, and myself will be on a panel and discuss what it is like to run for election. And in the heat and the bob and the guys on the talking heads on radio and television, it's not easy to run for election. It's not easy to smile all the time and eat chicken dinner with cold peas and shake hands with people who don't wash their hands after they go to the bathroom and they got bad breath. I mean, it ain't easy campaigning, and you'll find out how we in the media deal with elections. Of course, sometimes you're going to get, but there'll be a lot of people there from the broadcast industry, some of the managers of the local radio and television stations, a lot of the reporters, a lot of people who have retired from the industry will be there, and you'll be able to meet and greet with them. So it is open to the public, and the phone number to call, what do I do with it? Like, why do I keep doing this? 856-365-5600 is the telephone number, 856-365-5600. Call. It's a answering service for broadcast pioneers, and just give them the information and your name. It is $25 at the door, and the lunch isn't too bad considering the fact that it's a country club. Some of the country clubs are Harper and Heaven, but the Ballard Kenwood Country Club is not too bad. Once again, thanks to our special guest today, Nate Cooper, Rotarian, Roy Knopf, past president of the Feasterville Rotary Club. And guys, continued good luck, continued success on Monday night. I intend to get over there and make an appearance, and maybe even have a takeout or something. I don't know, but it's great, folks. Don't forget, it's this Monday night, October the 13th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Twining Hall, the Trebos Fire Company, right at Trebos Road and Street Road, $8 per person. You can have dinner there, or you can take it out. There's plenty of free parking, handicap accessible, and it is for Coats for Kids. Over 9,000 children in Feasterville area alone, Lower Southampton area, that need these coats, and they're done in privacy. It's done through the school, furthermore, and through Poquessing School. And so if your child is one there, don't be bashful. These guys put together this program, and they do it from sincerity. They do it from their heart, and it's for the community good. It's what we need more of. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Roy, thank you for coming. Nate, thank you so much for coming. It will be on the archive. The information will be there. The flyer is on the website. And I'm Irv Homer. Until the next time, Friday night.